Liftoff. United Launch Alliance Vulcan rocket.
We have liftoff. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are watching from. I'm ThatSpaceDogeGuy, and today we are here to cover the launch of NS-37 here in just about 13 minutes from now. I'm ThatSpaceDogeGuy once again. Time to see NS-37 hopefully fly today after a scrub last time out, which was caused by, I believe, winds and some ground issue. Let's hope that's solved now, as it's Saturday, 3 p.m., 2 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Central European Time. Getting ready to see this hopefully fly here. Now, the Blue Origin coverage has already started here, as it prepares, as the rocket prepares to fly. And broadcast is going smoothly for them. Here's the mission patch, actually. This is from the crew on board today. So we have a DNA, hippo, a tennis ball, and this means things. Let's get the stats on for today's launch. This time I have it instead of Phasey, who was out last time. If you did not see the launch of Long March 5, I will show you a recap video in just a second. It's very cool. So yeah, this is the mission patch. Pretty cool, I would say. Now, if you missed Long March 5, here's a little recap of the mission.
4、3、2、1，点火！点火！
I will say it's pretty loud. Pretty cool too. So that is Long March 5 launching earlier today. Actually, not even earlier today. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. And we already got the payload confirmed. TSDG-23 was the payload for that mission. Now focusing on Blue Origin here for the new Shepard rocket, launching a 6-person crew. And this crew includes Mihi Benthouse, Joey Hyde, Hans Königsmann, Neil Mitch, Adonis Pouroulis, and Jason Stansel. These will be the people flying on board New Shepard today, including Mihi Benthouse, which I already named earlier, who has a disability after an incident that happened with her. So yeah. And this is video of them training and how it goes.
Part of this video, Mihi will use transfer boards that create a bridge from her chair outside the capsule to her seat.
Ground.
Go.
And for those of you curious, in an emergency egress situation, her crew mates will assist her.
Engineering.
So here at Blue, we're always working to,
Copy, that's all goes. New
improve
Shepard,
ways
go
of
Booster, commence the terminal
accommodating
count.
people.
We'll go.
Now, is that the? Are we hearing the go pole? It sounds like we have just.
Controllers, drop UHF voice.
We have just heard the go pole that was in the background, and New Shepard is go for launch.
All right. So let's go New Shepard. Today's crew is an exciting one. Includes Joey Hyde, Hans Koenigsmann, Neil Milch, Adonis Parolis, Jason Stansel, and disability advocate Mihi Benthouse, who will make history today as the first wheelchair user to go to space.
So yeah.
That my dream of going to space is not over. I was like a very sporty person, so I did like a lot of mountain biking, snowboarding, I did parkour where you jump about walls and this kind of stuff. Obviously life changed a lot after my accident, and I think the biggest impact, of course, is using the wheelchair and everything which comes with a spinal cord injury. And I really figured out how inaccessible our world still is and how sometimes socially excluding a wheelchair can be, even though nobody is like actively excluding you, right?
She has an inspiring part, yeah? Many people respond to her and she does things that you don't expect her doing, right? And so they're fascinated by that. And I kind of feel the same way. She is, I think, an explorer, adventurer, yeah, and the wheelchair does not really stop her from doing that.
Yeah, so I met Hans the first time online, on LinkedIn. Yeah, I just asked him, like, you know, you worked for so long for SpaceX. Do you think that people like me can be astronauts? And then he reached out to Blue Origin and told me about, like, oh, Blue actually is very excited about it. And I was like, okay, I have my doubts on it, but let's see. But thankfully, it turned out we can do it. So Hans and me ending up flying as a team.
I think it was about a year ago when we first did our workshop with Hans and Michi on site. We made some prototype hardware, and then we tested out the prototype hardware, and we figured out a lot of things that didn't work and a few things that did work, and really refined and practiced those. We have their business resource groups here at Blue Origin, like New Hawking, and organizations like Astra Access have been great to come in and do workshops with us and figure out what's possible and wasn't possible. On the vehicle side, we didn't have to change anything to allow Michi to fly to space. We did implement a few things on the ground side, so some ground support equipment to allow her to both ingress and egress out of the capsule. And so a lot of our work was focused on upgrading the experience in Astronaut Village, things in our training center, and then some of the ground support equipment to get her both into the capsule and then back out of the capsule.
So yeah, I feel like a little bit the responsibility of being the first wheelchair user is also to point back on Earth. Of course, if we want to be an inclusive society, we should be inclusive in every part and not only in the parts we like to be. For the future of accessible spaceflight, I really hope it's like speeding up. You know, it's like in its very early days right now. So I think we're making like a very first thing here with Blue Origin.
So Michi basically inspired me to do this, yeah? And it's her drive that kind of convinced me I should do that too, and to just experience something that I've seen from the outside for a long time.
This is exciting work because this is what New Shepard was designed to do, to increase the access to space so all different kinds of people can have that experience of seeing our Earth from space.
And that's a beautiful video from Blue Origin there, showing that. Beautiful sunrise too. Look at that. That is perfect. So yeah, these people flying to space in about 5 minutes. It's absolutely exciting how this is possible now these days. Civilians, just wait a few days training and you can send up to space. Pretty cool. Now we're T-minus 4 minutes and 30 seconds until liftoff here. Looking good so far. Look at the cloud, though, covering the launch site here. Sunrise launch. Beautiful, but the clouds. So I'm wondering if we're going to get infrared cameras again, because otherwise you cannot really see anything. The clouds might be too thick now, but let's see. Look at that, that's cool. Now let's listen into their coverage, and I will be back with commentating just before and after launch, so enjoy.
Of liquid oxygen and hydrogen. So during flight, the only byproduct is water vapor with no carbon emissions.
It's a pretty incredible vehicle that systems have flown 36 times, and today will make number 37.
All right, we are at just about over T-minus 3 minutes to launch, and the NS-37 crew is just minutes now away from launch. This crew includes Joey, Hans, Neil, Adonis, Jason, and Mihi, who will make history today as the first wheelchair user to cross the Kármán line. As New Shepard awaits liftoff now, we're approaching a series of final vehicle checks. These are automatic checks that happen as part of the auto sequence. Let's tune into the rocket now and watch as those things happen.
Well, that's a quick break from my site here. So they're going to listen into the countdown. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go until New Shepard flies. This is going to be very cool. That's one thing for sure.
Auto sequence start.
There we go. Auto sequence has started.
Pressing propellant tanks to flight pressures.
There you hear it. Things are starting to happen now, as you can hear. 2 minutes to go. Once again, this is the 37th flight of a New Shepard rocket, and the 16th human flight.
Retracting the sunshade and capsule access bridge.
Things are starting to happen now. There it goes.
Transitioned to onboard hydraulic pumps.
Onboard hydraulic pumps.
All right, you're hearing some of those mission control call-outs going on there as we go through the big check moments. Claire, I think this is something, you've been on console before. You could tell us a little bit about this
Executing
this
aft fin, built-in test.
You can see right there, we are doing our aft fin bit, or a
Vehicle is now on internal power.
built-in check. They said the vehicle's on internal power, so we're switching to internal systems. And so we are just checking out the vehicle to make sure everything is ready to go.
1 minute.
We've got our great drone operators down there in West Texas giving us some aerial footage today. I love these shots. These are really special. And you saw while you were talking
tanks
there,
are at flight pressures.
you saw the fins at the base of the rocket moving back and forth, and they were getting us ready to fly.
Well, we are just
Switched on onboard helium.
just under T-minus 30 seconds. We're going to toss it back over to the rocket, and let's go New Shepard and the crew out of the blue.
Thrust termination system is armed. Starting roll program. 30 seconds into flight.
Now you can note the speed and altitude graphics there at the bottom of your screen.
7,000 feet and climbing.
And the chart at the left is tracking the main milestones that we're going to see during the flight.
Beginning throttle down for Q limiting. Engine response looks good.
All right, it looks like we've passed
Max Q.
There you hear on the radio there, the Max Q has passed. That's the point at which the aerodynamic pressures on the vehicle are
Mach
at
1,
their max.
vehicle is supersonic.
All right.
And you can just see the glow of the engine there. And
Engine
then
back up to full
There's the
throttle.
onboard.
the onboard camera looking down at West Texas.
Chamber pressure looks good. Passing 70,000 feet.
All right, we're approaching 100,000 feet here. The next milestone that we're looking here for is main engine cutoff, or MECO. And that's the moment at which our astronauts are going to start feeling the
Astronauts
effects
experiencing max ascent Gs.
of microgravity.
Begin throttle down, standby MECO. MECO confirmed.
There's the main engine cutoff.
Standby separation.
And it's a very clear day in West Texas, which is why our long-range cameras there on the ground on the left side of the screen, you're seeing the clear shot of the booster. There's separation.
Separation confirmed.
Amazing. And this is the point at which the astronauts are going to hear that call from their Capcom, telling them they can start to unbuckle and enjoy those moments to float around the capsule. And I can't imagine what's going through me, he said right now.
Hey, guys. Emily, I love you. Grandpa's in space. Hey, guys. Guys. Oh, my goodness. High five. High five. High five. High five.
They sound happy in there, which is really good.
I'm so excited for them.
Look at this. We're in space. Oh, my God.
Passing the Kármán line.
And there they are. They've crossed into space. Now, both the booster and the capsule are both ascending now. The vehicles are separated, and now they're just both coasting up into their apogee point, and they're going to reach apogee about the same time, and then begin their journey back to Earth.
No problem.
You can hear the voices of the astronauts right now as they are floating around the capsule.
Capsule has reached apogee.
Oh, my God. Congratulations.
4 minutes, 15 seconds into flight.
An amazing day to fly to space for these 6
Booster descending
astronauts.
past 340,000 feet.
Now, the booster is more aerodynamically shaped than the capsule is, so it's going to win the race back to the
Capsule
ground.
body
So
rates look good.
the chart on the left side of the screen that you see there is tracking the booster. The chart on the right side is tracking the capsule's descent. And so that booster is going to first touch down just a couple minutes before the capsule does. And you hear there the 1 minute warning came from Capcom. They're talking to the astronauts in the capsule, giving them that 1 minute warning to return to their
Booster
seats.
descending nominally.
And one thing I love is that you can see this booster coming down to West Texas.
Astronauts returning to seats.
The astronauts returning to their seats, and the booster will actually land about 2 miles north from the launch pad.
That's the onboard, we call it the tunnel down view of the booster as it's descending back to Earth. You'll notice the clouds moving from left to right there. The booster, as it's ascending, rolls a little bit sort of tosses the crew capsule
Capsule
up
has
into
reached the
space and
atmospheric
gives
pierce
the
point.
capsule ability to spin and get lots of different views of Earth as it's floating.
Confirmed booster forward fin deploy.
As you heard, we have deployed the forward fins, and that is because we need these surfaces to help steer the vehicle back to the landing pad.
Astronauts are experiencing max Gs.
All right, the astronauts are now back in their seats. They are also descending back to Earth as well.
Coming up here soon, we'll have my favorite part. I'm biased because it's the engine, but we will get to see the engine reignite.
Booster drag brakes deployed. Approach an engine restart.
All right, there's the drag brakes, and you're going to see the velocity of the dropping of the booster here really cut down. It's below 500 miles an hour now.
That was the sonic boom.
And you can see the relay happening
Engine
right
restart.
there.
Landing legs deployed. Booster descent nominal.
Booster touchdown.
Booster touchdown.
All
Welcome
right.
home, new Shepard booster.
There it is. Every time I get to see these booster landings, this is a miracle of engineering. And
Starting booster auto-safing.
It's a treat to be able to see it. If you ever get a chance to see it in
Capsule
Texas,
descending nominally
it's
past
incredible.
20,000 feet.
This is reusable.
Standby drogue.
So the show is not over because we have the capsule, and on your screen you can see that the capsule is descending with the altitude decreasing there.
You should be able to, yep, there's the crew capsule. Now we're going to look for the drogue deployment. There it is. Looks like we got 3 good drogues. Now, these are the
drogue deployment confirmed.
Are the initial drogue parachutes that pull out the main parachutes just a few seconds later. There's 3 good main parachutes have been deployed.
Capsule main parachute deployment confirmed.
There we are. 3 reefed parachutes. Always
Confirmed.
really good to see
Capsule mains
this.
look good.
Amazing. So these astronauts have gone to space. They have unbuckled. They have enjoyed a few
Capsule
moments
landing
of
zone is
floating
within
around the
expected
capsule.
range limits.
And here they are, looking out the window, seeing Earth.
Capsule descending nominally past 1,700 feet.
That is a great shot. We are just under 1,500 feet from the capsule landing.
That was a very cool launch we just saw there. Now, coming up, landing, capsule touchdown.
Now the parachutes, they're essential for providing a gentle touchdown for the capsule, and it also has a retro thrust system on the base of the
TDS
capsule,
enabled.
which is going to make the final touchdown even smoother for those astronauts.
Yeah, that's happening soon.
Under 1,000 feet here. That retro thrust system fires
Approaching
just
retro thrust fire.
moments before touchdown to slow the capsule down to just a few miles an hour. It kicks up a tremendous cloud of dust there in the desert, but rest assured the astronauts today will enjoy a nice, soft touchdown. Again, great work by our drone team in West Texas today.
There's an estimated touchdown.
Capsule
There it is.
touchdown. Touchdown. Auto-safing start. Welcome home, NS-37.
Our astronauts have landed and they have touched down back in West Texas.
Welcome home, crew of NS-37, the 37th mission to space for New Shepard.
Status check.
Beautiful.
It's always great to see the easy touchdown for a New Shepard crew capsule. Now, at this point, our crew capsule recovery team is going to be driving out in a convoy to meet those astronauts. They're going to safe the capsule. They're going to get ready to open that hatch, which is, at that point, we're going to be able to see those astronauts emerging from the crew capsule and get ready to hear some of the first words they're going to say about their experience. So it's quite amazing to see. The landing zone, as I understand it today, is just a little bit east of our launch pad. You can see in the little window there, that's the crew capsule recovery team. They're live right now. They are driving that road out. You can see, it looks to me like the launch tower is right in front of them. I think they're going to take a right at some point at the tower area and head towards the east, just a little ways where the crew capsule is going to be waiting for them.
That was really beautiful to see NS-37 launch and land back down. Beautiful flight for the 6-person crew. And yeah, I think that will wrap up our coverage here. If you want to continue to see coverage of this launch, of course, if you aren't already, you can head over to Blue Origin's website or their YouTube channel for footage of the for the rest of the coverage, basically, of the flight. Well, it's over, but they're going to have some interviews here, hopefully. So that's good for them. And there are the postcards that they have made to fly on board today's flight. And that was beautiful. And that's going to wrap up the coverage here. I want to thank everyone here for watching today's live stream. And we will be back. When are we going to be back? That's a good question. Either Wednesday, December 24th for the Plesetsk Cosmodrome launch of Soyuz 2.1A, or Space Ward, whenever that is, or just something. We'll see. We'll keep you updated, hopefully, or you can check the channel for next live streams. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Liftoff. United Launch Alliance.